Now, a planned directive by principals of colleges of education for teacher trainees, that's Princoff, to begin feeding themselves from May 8 this year due to delay in releasing of feeding grants has been botched. Princoff says it has received more than 67 million cedis from government last week. We'll hear from Princoff shortly, but first listen to Kwesi Kwarteng, who speaks for the Education Ministry in this interview he granted Joy News last week.
If you look at our arrears that we had, our standing arrears, is for the 2020-2021 academic year. And then we're looking at an amount of Ghana 117,942,652. So if you look at this figure, in December last year, that is 2021, an amount of 50 million Ghana cedis was actually paid, which means that government ought to have committed an amount of 67,942,652. That is actually the money that was paid or released today. So those were the outstanding arrears for the 2020-2021 academic year in full. Cumulatively or in totality, the entire 117,942,000 plus includes that component which goes to the students personally or individually, and that aspect which goes to the school, or the component that goes to the school for the purposes of feeding. Okay. And so there was an outstanding arrears of 67 million plus, which has been paid today. So, but I mean, the most important thing is that, I mean, the principle is that teachers are going to be paid their allowance due them with regards to the 2020-2021 academic year, all outstanding arrears.
And you say, when can they expect it?
Like I said, we are hoping that tomorrow, I mean, as soon as the minister makes a public statement or a public declaration that it has been released, what it means is that it's moved from controller. And then GTech is supposed to also make that arrangement where half of such payments go to the various schools, whilst the other half also goes to the students. So in regards to the students, the disbursement is done through the student loan trust fund, which we believe that tomorrow that process will be done. And of course, the other part will also be sent directly to the colleges of education.
Emmanuel Nyamiche, who is national president of Princoff, confirmed this to Joy News, and he joins us live via Zoom with more on this. Mr. Nyamiche, thank you very much for your time here on Joy News Prime. You're saying that the amount has hit your account, and therefore students and parents should not worry about feeding in the colleges of education.
Thank you very much. Exactly so. The money has been paid. We have received our check.
If you could just repeat that point for me, we missed that, the earlier point you made.
So as we Well, I said that all colleges were asked to pick up their checks on Thursday. Colleges that are very close to Accra picked up their checks on Thursday. Those of us who are some distance away from Accra, we picked up our checks on Friday last week. And so today the checks have cleared, and I want to believe that almost all colleges would have had their money by now.
Mm. So does this settle all arrears for you as far as feeding is concerned?
Yes, the arrears we asked for, that's what has been given to us.
You're saying the arrears you asked for, it means that there's something that is outstanding. You still have some amount of money outstanding, but you are able to manage that.
Thank you very much. The semester is still ongoing. And so for now, we cannot say that we have any arrears because we are still within the first semester of the 2021-2022 academic year. Mm.
Well, Mr. Nyamiche, thank you very much for the confirmation. Kindly hold the line for me briefly, because there's the other part of this conversation, very linked to the feeding, is the teacher training allowances, a component of which goes into the feeding grants. We're joined in the studio by Jonathan Junu, who leads the Student Union, that's the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana. Mr. Junu, thank you very much for your time here on Joy News Prime. So what has changed across the campuses? You heard in that interview with Kwesi Kwarteng saying that once the feeding aspect has gone through, you can expect processes to start for you to receive the other component, which is your allowance. Have you received anything?
Not yet. We've not received the allowance yet. So today we went to student loan
Okay.
to go and find out how far they've gone with the process of getting the money disbursed to the student. So when we went there...
Indeed, because he mentioned that student loan is supposed to do that.
Yes. So we were there today, and they told us that they are yet to receive the money. Okay. So we went back to GTech to confirm, and then later we had a confirmation from GTech that the money has been sent. So within the week, we should be expecting payment.
Okay. So within this week, teacher trainees across the country can expect some monies to hit their account.
Per the information we received.
You've received.
Yes.
We know that the arrears was 7 months. You had 7 months of arrears. Is that amount of money, do you know for a fact if this will cover all that is owed you?
No, it covers the 2020-2021 academic year arrears. So it means that 2021-2022, we are yet to receive that amount.
How are your students managing? How are they coping on campus? The last time SAG went on strike, the situation became so dire. There was some communication to the effect that students should contribute to help in feeding. Then Princoff issued a statement. You gave us an interview indicating that this was happening at a bad time because examination was happening in some of the colleges. How have they been managing?
The period has not been very fine with the students. It was a very difficult situation for them, looking at the time that these issues were popping up. So it was a very difficult situation. But with the mention of money being released by the minister, I think it's brought some kind of relief, I must say.
Okay. And the issues of school fees, we're seeing rear its head in the other universities, public universities. Some of your members have said that they rely on these allowances to pay their fees. What is the situation over there? Do you have a situation where many students owe fees at the colleges?
Yes. There are situations where students owe fees. The last time I checked from one of the colleges, the amount they mentioned was very huge. And if you ask the student, they will tell you that it's because allowances have not been paid. And I'm also aware of the fact that there are some students who were not able to assess their results because they couldn't pay examination fee simply because allowance was delayed.
Have some been forced to defer as we are seeing at the KNUST? Are we there yet?
No, we have not had that yet. We have not had that.
Very well. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Jonathan is the leader of the Student Union, that's the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana, confirming that they have received some information to the effect that this week they should expect some monies to hit the account. We have Emmanuel Nyamicha on the line, who is chairman of Princoff. Mr. Nyamicha, and so going forward, the people you owe should also look forward to some payments.
Exactly so. We hoping that as soon as we all pick up our checks, we would also do checks to our suppliers. And once we do these checks to them, we are very certain that they would start supplying food items to the colleges again.
Very well. I'm grateful for your time. That's Chairman of Princoff, Emmanuel Nyamicha, join us here on Joy News Prime.